older, one of the things I really have realized is I'm happiest when I spend time creating. And if I have chunks of time where days go by where I really don't have the opportunity to create, I really miss that. I've been doing art ever since I was a kid, and I was lucky to grow up with a mother who really encouraged that very much. She supported us in whatever we did. And North Carolina ETV, I grew up in North Carolina, would have classes, and Mother would read about the class that was going to come up, and she would go get the supplies, and my mother and my sister and I would sit in front of the television at night and learn how to do Chinese brush painting or whatever the class was for that time. A lot from nature, and the rest just from things I see. And it might be a texture on a logging truck, or I'm behind somebody hauling a load of plywood, and the textures and the layers of the plywood on the back of the truck. Or I see a flower or a tree or the ripples in the pond or the way the clouds go in the sky, any of that. That whole continuation of coming from the ground and then coming out and then into something that people can wear and enjoy every day is just something I really appreciate. Jewelry making is very much a hands-on thing. We do have mechanized tools now that help, but it's still very much something you do with your hands. Well, like I said, for me it usually starts with the stone or with the metal, and I wait for the stone to sort of tell me what it's going to be, because sometimes I'll buy it and I think it's going to be a ring, and every time I get it out to make a ring, the stone tells me, no, I'm sorry, this is not what I am. And so I put it back up, and once I figure out what it is, sometimes I do sketches and sometimes I don't do sketches. I just start with the metal and start working. And I have to start by drawing onto the metal what I want for my rough part. I cut that out with a saw or with shears. Then I start shaping the metal. You work the metal, you solder it. I have a whole soldering station for soldering the pieces of metal together. So you do that, and then you have to do a lot of filing and sanding. That's the whole finishing, is making it look all smooth in the exact way you want it to look. At different stages you add textures with hammers or with stamps or whatever. Then you actually, if you're using stones, then you put the stones in. And at different stages, if you want to, you can add different kinds of finishes. And even with the mechanized tools, there's still an awful lot of just pure handwork that goes into it. And I'm very careful in what I'm doing. I want things that are going to last, that are going to be trouble-free, and that are going to be nice and smooth. To me, a good piece of jewelry first is a piece that is very wearable. There's a lot of art jewelry out there that's neat to look at, but would be incredibly uncomfortable to wear. And to me, yes, that's interesting, but it's not a good piece of jewelry. I'm making jewelry for people to wear, that they're going to enjoy wearing, that's going to make them feel confident and comfortable and pretty, because most of it's for women, and enhance their self-esteem. So to me, I guess the first thing is that it should be extremely wearable and comfortable to wear. The second thing is, obviously, it ought to be visually attractive, and that's going to be a little bit different depending on who's looking at it. And then it needs to be really well made, because you want it to stay together. You don't want somebody to put on a piece of jewelry and have it fall apart on them.